Assalamu alaikum, dear sisters. Today I want to share with you a real story, one that I believe will touch your heart and inshallah bring hope to anyone going through difficult times. This is a story of a widow and a mother of two young children whose life was turned upside down when her husband passed away. But through faith, patience, and trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, her life began to change in ways she never imagined. Her life turned upside down the day her husband passed away. Suddenly, she was a widow with two young children, faced with many difficulties to overcome. The days felt endless, filled with worry about how to make ends meet, and the nights were lonely, with nothing but her fears to keep her company. She felt lost, wondering how she could possibly carry on and take care of her children in this new reality. But even in her darkest moments, something inside her wouldn't let her give up. She began turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala more than she ever had before. At first, it was just desperate prayers whispered through tears. But over time, these moments became a regular part of her day. One night, after putting her children to bed, she opened the Quran and came across Surah Al-Baqarah. She had heard about the benefits of this powerful chapter, but had never really committed to reading it regularly. That night, she decided to make a change. She began reciting Al-Baqarah every day, praying for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protections and blessings. As the days turned into weeks, she started to feel a shift in her life. The heavy burden on her heart began to lift little by little. She also started incorporating istighfar, seeking forgiveness, into her daily routine. She would sit quietly after her prayers, repeatedly asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for forgiveness, even when she was cooking, when she was doing groceries, when she was working, when she was outside. It became her second nature. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Whoever makes istighfar regularly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will provide for him a way out of every difficulty and relief from every worry, and will provide for him from sources he could never imagine." These simple acts of faith, reciting Al-Baqarah and regularly making istighfar, became a source of incredible strength for her. She found that the more she turned to Allah, the more she felt peace. Problems that once seemed insurmountable began to resolve in ways she hadn't expected. Despite the challenges she still faced, she began to feel a sense of calm and hope she hadn't felt in a long time. She saw significant changes in her life. Suddenly, people she barely knew offered her help with her groceries for her kids, saying they had felt compelled to help her, subhanallah. Another time, she received envelopes with money left anonymously. She knew these weren't just coincidences. They were blessings from Allah answering her silent prayers. It didn't stop her. She knew she needed to provide for her family. So she started searching for ways to earn an income from home. She made dua, asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide her to something halal and suitable. Soon, a friend reached out to help her. She helped her set her online business so she could work from home and be with her kids. The business became successful, mashallah, by the grace of Allah. As she continued to recite, she decided how her life began to change. The anxiety that once consumed her heart started to fade. Her children became more settled and content, and her relationship with them grew stronger. She also felt a sense of community she hadn't felt before, as she connected with other women who shared similar stories. Together, they supported one another, sharing advice and offering comfort during tough times. One day, as she was reciting Surah Al-Baqarah and reciting other verses of the Quran, she came across a verse that had a profound impact on her. "So verily, with the hardship, there is relief." These words echoed her heart. reminding her that every trial is temporary. Allah promises relief after hardship. This verse became a source of hope that she held on tightly. Her journey wasn't without its difficulties, but with every step she took towards Allah, she felt His guidance and support. The combination of reciting the and trusting in Allah's wisdoms brought her a sense of peace and blessing she never imagined possible. To every woman listening to her story, remember that no matter what tough your situation may seem, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is always near. He hears your prayers, He sees your struggles, and He's the best of planners, subhanallah. When you sincerely turn to Him, take steps towards improving your relationship with Him and trust in His wisdom. He will open doors for you in ways you never expected. The story of this woman is a reminder that even in the most difficult times, there is hope. Her journey shows us that by turning to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through prayer, Quran, istighfar, life can be transformed in ways we could never imagine. Trust in Allah and know that He's always with you, ready to bring you ease and blessings.